Hello my friends, I am coming to you barefaced to give you a review of the new Glow Recipe Papaya Enzyme Cleansing Balm that I have been using for the past 13 days. Isn't 13 days a movie? Hold on, I gotta look this up. Oh, my bad. I thought this was a zombie film. Oh, maybe it is. It still could be. One day short of my preferred time frame because there is a Sephora sale starting tomorrow. I've seen quite a few people making their wish lists, and I've seen quite a lot of interest in this cleansing balm. So I want to make it really clear that my goal in this video is to be as unbiased as possible, to give you an extensive review, and to talk about potential pros and potential cons. Not because I hate Glow Recipe, in fact I love Glow Recipe, but because I think there's some things you really should know before you purchase this product. So let's start off this video with some general information about this product. This is of course a new release from Glow Recipe, which is a brand I tend to really enjoy. They focus heavily on the experience of using skincare, the textures, the scents. And in my personal opinion, this is very much in line with everything else I've tried from Glow Recipe in that aspect. It does have a light scent to it, actually lighter than I would expect from past experiences with this brand, but yes, it doesn't contain any added fragrance. You're just smelling the papaya, the other fruit ingredients in here, and it smells really good. This retails for $32 for 3.38 fluid ounces, 100 milliliters. You get the product, which is packaged in glass, as well as a little plastic scoop. As far as the claims on this product, it is vegan, cruelty-free, free of PEGs, parabens, mineral oil, sulfates, silicones, phthalates, drying alcohols, synthetic dyes, and synthetic fragrance. Certified by Leaping Bunny, it lasts you for 12 months after opening and is in recyclable packaging. I do think it's important that you understand what a cleansing balm is, so I'll make this pretty quick since I think most of you do know, but a cleansing balm is basically an alternative way to remove your makeup. You know, you could use makeup wipes, you could use a cleansing oil, or you could use a thicker texture in a cleansing balm. Now, if you choose to use a product like this, it is typically recommended that you follow with your regular cleanser. And that is called the double cleansing method, and it's been trending for a while, so again, why I assume most of you are familiar with it. But what makes Glow Recipe's cleansing balm different? Because, you know, there certainly are quite a few other cleansing balms on the market, and I have tried an awful lot of them. I should actually tell you what I've tried just for comparison purposes. So my favorite cleansing balms would have to be Emma Hardy's Amazing Face, the Eve Lom Cleanser, the Elemis Cleansing Balm, and then I've also tried the Pharmacy Green Clean, Clinique's Take the Day Off, Vanilla Clean at Zero. Now, I personally don't want to spend a lot of time on this next point, but it's on the box no less than 3 times, so I feel like I should at least mention it. We replaced PEG's, polyethylene glycol ingredients, with natural waxes and oils for gentle, effective makeup removal. So the whole reason that they did this is that there has been some concern within the skincare community about PEGs being in cleansing balms. So yes, they removed them. However, when you flip the box over and you look at the ingredients, you do find the word polyethylene. This right here is why I get frustrated with greenwashing being used as a marketing approach. You know, as long as people have concerns about an entire category, you can't just pull out selectively one ingredient and say, we'll use something else from that same category. You know, when it comes to a cleansing balm, you are talking about a product that is made up of oils. How do you get oils to the texture of a cleansing balm, the word being in the name, without using some kind of a thickening agent? Like I've said many times on this channel, I do respect the clean movement. I grew up in the clean movement. In fact, my mom was very ahead of the game. She was using aluminum-free deodorant in the 90s. Do I get any genetic hipster cred for that? Do I get a fedora? But above and beyond the claims of what is not in this cleansing balm, they are saying that it does contain papaya enzymes, which are going to give you a light exfoliation in a cleansing balm. It is truly interesting and innovative to decide to put it in that step, in addition to claiming that it is antioxidant rich and leaves skin fresh and hydrated. So all of that sounds absolutely excellent. That is what got me to buy this product the day that it was released. I was very excited about this. I'm going to tell you in advance that I did use this product as directed for a while, and I'm not going to do that anymore. I've been using this long enough that I don't agree with the way that they instruct you to use this. So what I'll do is I'll read you guys this and then tell you what I do instead. So they say, scoop a generous amount. First off, no, you don't need a generous amount. You actually need so much less of this cleansing balm than any other cleansing balm I've tried, and I think that should be one of their biggest selling points. I'm absolutely blown away by how a little goes a long way. Okay, on dry skin, gently massage formula in circular motions for up to 1 minute, focusing on areas that have more makeup. Absolutely agree, that is how you should use this. Splash lukewarm water to rinse. Hard disagree. The typical way to use a cleansing balm, and I'll link my videos in which this is what I always did with this. The typical way is to apply it to dry skin, massage off your eyeshadow, your mascara, your foundation, your SPF. And then you take a dry washcloth and remove the balm itself. You wet the washcloth and then you go in to wash everything else off. And then you follow with your regular cleanser. To elaborate on why I disagree with Glow Recipe's instructed usage, we're gonna move into my experience. So I'm gonna take you guys through my first impression of this, which sadly I didn't film. Live and learn, I should have filmed. But it went a little something like this. So I got it in the mail. I always get my mail in the evenings, super excited, open it up, smell it, am really amazed by the fact that this is not an overwhelming scent. It's a scent, I think they've really mastered that scent. You know, people do like a good smell, but they don't want it to be overwhelming, and they just absolutely nailed it there. I, of course, read the directions because you should always read the directions on how to use your skincare products, and that night, I used it to remove the sunscreen that I was wearing that day. So, this was my experience. I put it on my skin, and I was just absolutely floored at how this spread on my skin. You know, again, I've used a lot of cleansing balms. None of them have ever spread as beautifully as this. So I'm sitting there massaging this into my skin going, oh my gosh, I might have a new holy grail. So then I go and add some water, and that's where my opinion started to change. The second the water hits my skin, and hence the balm itself, I noticed that the balm completely changed texture and went from feeling like it glides incredibly beautifully to suddenly feeling like Vaseline or like chapstick, something very, very thick, and it is not coming off. And even now, sitting here, I still think this is so bizarre because I've never encountered something that has this glorious texture that the second water touches it, it completely changes. So I'm adding more and more water, and this is just not coming off my skin. So I'm like, okay, this is fine. I'll just go in with my second cleanser. I'm sure that will do the trick. But it doesn't. When I finished using this product exactly as directed on the packaging, I felt like I had a film on my face, and it stayed with me for the entire night, and I do not like that sensation. Now again, this is something very important for you to hear in my own review. If you do like that sensation, you might love this product. On the other hand, if you are somebody who does not like feeling cleanser residue left behind, really something for you to know. Now, I kept at this for a few days, and I was just really concerned for a couple of days because my skin felt like it had this thick occlusive layer on it, which is why I made that post on Instagram. I do have reactive skin, I do break out fairly easily, and I was thinking, this might not go well for me. I still kept at this for several days because I wanted to love this product, but a few days later I was like, why don't I just use this the way that I use every other cleansing balm in existence and start using a washcloth with it. Game changing, wish I'd done that from the beginning, and it is still possible that I could be sitting here today without these breakouts on my face. Something I really want to emphasize with this product is that this is so gorgeous for removing eye makeup. If you wear a lot of eyeshadow, then you've probably had the experience of getting your cleansing balm in your eyes, especially if you use a cleansing oil, right? It just gets in your eyes and then you have kind of cloudy vision for a few moments. You do not get this with this product. I think because of the way that it holds itself together so well. It doesn't drip at all on your face, so therefore it doesn't go into your eyes. This was about day 8 of using this cleansing balm. Very consistent with my own experiences. I usually break out from a product on anywhere between days 8 and day 12. Nothing like having your own skin down to a science. Highly recommend that, by the way. But it was kind of devastating to see these pimples forming where I'd been using it to remove my sunscreen, right? So I was thinking, okay, well, maybe since I've been using it on my eyes, maybe that will be fine. But I don't know if you can see this. I've got some little tiny breakouts that happened right around my eyes, which absolutely never happens. Again, this is day 13, so please understand that I have stopped using this for 5 days, and this is my skin now. It does seem like my skin is getting better. I do want to cover some potential theories as to what happened, but I also want to make sure I'm clear that I don't actually know. This is why I made that whole skincare experts video. I'd love to see the community acknowledge more that sometimes we don't know what happens and it's okay to not know. So my first theory is that my reaction could have something to do with the ingredients itself. This is kind of theory number one for any product on the market. However, you know, it's interesting. I looked at these ingredients and I felt completely confident buying the product, but this is why I say ingredients still don't tell you the full story. It is possible that there's some kind of a synergistic reaction within these ingredients that I haven't encountered before that my skin doesn't like. It's kind of like, have you ever known a person and then they get in a relationship with somebody else and suddenly that person's personality is completely different whenever they're around their significant other? You guys have experienced this. And it's absolutely possible that that's what's going on with this product. You know, you really never know how a product is going to be on your skin until you've tried it. Theory number two is that I have over exfoliated my skin. This one is interesting because it could actually be from the product or not from the product at all, but from the way that I've been treating my skin as a result of the product. I shall explain. Papaya enzymes, that is going to give you some exfoliation to your skin. It is possible that using that every day could be too much, again, for certain skin types, and then could be wonderful for other skin types. But in addition to that, because I was using a washcloth on my skin, which is physical exfoliation, that in itself could be too much, or it could be both combined. And theory number three, I could be breaking out from the occlusive nature of this product. You know, I saw somebody on Instagram say, my skin felt so hydrated after using this that I didn't even bother to follow with the moisturizer. And I understand that person because that is indeed how my skin felt as well. But as I've talked about on this channel, my skin needs skincare. Back in March of this year, I did the caveman skincare thing. I tried to stop skincare, and that was some of the worst skin that I have ever seen on my own face. Oh my goodness, I absolutely need my BHA. I need my retinol. I use those ingredients at night after using the cleansing balm, and maybe they weren't absorbing. Maybe my retinol wasn't converting. Maybe my BHA wasn't reaching deep enough into my skin. Which brings me to my final thoughts, my conclusion on this product. You know, to reiterate the pros and cons. The pros are, I really do think you could love this if you are tired of getting cleansing balms in your eye, if you have very dry skin. You know, this could be a product that is perfect for somebody who has a very minimal skincare routine, maybe doesn't even use a moisturizer at night. I could see how, if that is a person using this, their skin could get better after using this. On the other hand, potential cons, I think there really are some people who are not going to like that sensation of a residue. Like I said through this video, you can absolutely minimize it by using a washcloth in the way that I showed. In fact, that's the best constructive criticism I could ever give Glow Recipe should they ever stumble upon this video. You know, most of the cleansing balms, the high-end cleansing balms, they actually come with a washcloth or a muslin cloth, and that should be the case with this in my personal opinion. So my final thoughts, I really think we're gonna start seeing some more negative reviews on this. You know, right now the Sephora website is absolutely flooded with Influenster reviews. I really thought we were past all this. I thought that people on Influenster know that you can give a 100% honest review and it will not make you ineligible for future Vox boxes. It would not be the first time that I've seen a product, you know, start out with this perfect 5-star review, 300 reviews, and then over time it starts to drop. But I will also tell you one more time that if you want to minimize the residue feeling, use a washcloth. That makes a huge difference. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. Apologies that I can't give you, you know, a 3-month long review at this point. Always the risk with new releases. But if any of you guys have tried this, do feel free, as always, to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I highly encourage you to disagree with me. If you have had a completely different experience with this product, share your thoughts. It is always welcomed. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.